we begin with a tragic story that has shaken the global athletic community. Ugandan Olympian Rebecca Cheptegei has died in a horrifying act of domestic violence. Her boyfriend Dixon India Mamarangat allegedly set her on fire following a dispute at their home in Kenya. The incident occurred just days after Cheptegei competed in the 2024 Paris Olympics, representing Uganda in the marathon. Despite being rushed to the hospital with severe burns covering nearly 80% of her body, she succumbed to her injuries 4 days later. She was 33 years old. This incident has not only devastated her family, but has also sparked outrage and grief worldwide. It raises serious concerns about the safety of women, especially those in the public eye, and the growing issue of gender-based violence. Let's take a closer look at the events surrounding this tragedy. It is reported that the couple had been involved in an argument over a piece of land Cheptegei owned. During the dispute, Ndiema allegedly poured petrol over her and ignited it. Neighbors rushed to help and extinguish the flames, but by then, Cheptegei had already sustained extensive burns. She was immediately taken to Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital in Eldoret, where doctors fought to save her life. Unfortunately, despite their best efforts, Cheptegei passed away on the morning of September 5th due to complications from the severe burns, including multiple organ failure. Rebecca Cheptegei was more than just an Olympian. She was a symbol of determination and resilience. Her athletic career began in 2010, and she quickly rose through the ranks to become one of Uganda's top long-distance runners. Cheptegei represented our country on the international stage, competing in marathons across the globe. Her most recent achievement was competing in 2024 Paris Olympics, where she completed the women's marathon. Cheptegei's journey to the Olympics was filled with hard work and perseverance. She trained tirelessly to represent Uganda, and her efforts made her a beloved figure in her home country. Her dedication to the sport of her success on the track inspired countless young athletes, particularly young women who saw in her a role model of strength and ambition. Outside of her athletic pursuits, Cheptegei was also a mother. Her death leaves a profound void not only in the sporting world, but also in the lives of those who knew her personally, including her young daughter, who witnessed the tragic events that took place in her mother's life. The global athletic community has been left reeling by the news of Rebecca Cheptegei's tragic death. In Uganda, the Olympic Committee issued a statement expressing deep sorrow, condemning the attack as senseless and cowardly. Uganda's Olympic Committee's president, Donald Rukare, tweeted, "We mourn the loss of a great athlete and a beloved mother of our community. Rebecca Cheptegei was an inspiration to many, and this heinous act has cut her life short far too soon." Messages of condolence have poured in from athletes around the world. Kenyan marathoner and world record holder Eliud Kipchoge took to social media to express his grief, writing, "We have lost not just an athlete, but a dear friend and colleague." Violence like this has no place in our society, and we must do better to protect women. The shocking nature of Cheptegei's death has reignited discussions about the safety of women in sport and issues of domestic violence. Many athletes have called for greater awareness and stronger protections for women, particularly those who may be vulnerable due to their public status. Rebecca Cheptegei's death is not an isolated incident, but rather part of a disturbing trend of violence against women in East Africa and beyond. Gender-based violence remains a pervasive issue in the region, with many cases going unreported. High-profile women, including athletes like Cheptegei, are not immune to these dangers. In recent years, the deaths of several female athletes in Kenya have raised alarm about the risk women face, even at the height of their careers. In 2021, a world record holder, Agnes Tirop, was murdered in her home, sparking outrage and calls for action to protect women in sports. Similarly, Maris Matua, another Kenyan athlete, was found dead in her home in April 2022. Both cases, like Cheptegei's, involved intimate partner violence. The growing number of such incidents highlights the urgent need for more robust measures to address gender-based violence. Advocacy groups have called for stronger laws, better enforcement, and more support for victims, but progress has been slow. The deaths of these women serve as a stark reminder that the fight against domestic violence must continue. Let Rebecca Cheptegei's legacy be a reminder of the importance of addressing domestic violence and advocating for the safety and dignity of all women. Her story should not only evoke grief, but also inspire change. Our thoughts and prayers are with our family, friends, and the global athletic community during this difficult time. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has made a significant boost in the fight against cybercrime. On Friday, August 30th, EFCC operatives arrested 48 suspected internet fraudsters in Umudike, Abia State. The arrest follows ongoing efforts to curb cyber-related crimes that has been prevalent across the country. The EFCC, acting on credible intelligence, carried out a coordinated raid in Umudike, leading to the arrest of 48 individuals suspected of engaging in internet fraud. According to the Commission, the suspects were apprehended during a sting operation carried out by the Zonal Directorate and Anti-Corruption Agency. Various incriminating items, including 12 exotic cars, 15 different brands of laptops, and 68 expensive smartphones, were recovered from the suspects, which were allegedly used in perpetrating fraudulent online activities. The EFCC spokesman stated that the operation was part of the Commission's ongoing effort to rid the society of cybercriminals, often referred to as Yahoo Boys. Residents of Umudike expressed mixed reactions. While some applauded the efforts of the EFCC, others expressed concern over the increasing cases of fraud among young people in the region. Internet fraud, commonly referred to as Yahoo, has been a growing problem in Nigeria over the past decade, with many young people turning to cybercrime as a quick way to make money. The EFCC has been stepping up its efforts to clamp down these activities, conducting numerous operations across the country. This latest arrest in Umudike is part of the agency's broader campaign, which has seen hundreds of suspects arrested this year alone. All 48 suspects are currently being detained by the EFCC and are undergoing further investigation. The Commission has confirmed that they will be charged to court as soon as investigations are concluded. If found guilty, they could face significant prison time as Nigerian law imposes harsh penalties for cybercrime under the Cybercrime Act of 2015. Experts have long warned about the rise in internet fraud, particularly among young Nigerians, driven by high unemployment rates and a lack of economic opportunities. While the EFCC's operation in Umudike was successful, some community members are concerned about the long-term impact on the town's reputation and its youth. One local business owner expressed fear that these types of incidents might discourage potential investors from coming to the area. Others worry about the social impact on families whose members were involved in fraudulent activities. A local youth leader called for increased mentorship programs to guide young people away from illegal activities and towards productive ventures. The Nigerian government has reiterated its committee to combating cybercrime, with the EFCC leading the charge. In a recent press briefing, the EFCC chairman stated that the Commission is working closely with the local and international partners to address the following problem of internet fraud. He also urged for stronger collaboration with tech companies to help track down fraudulent activities more effectively. The government is also focusing on strengthening cybersecurity laws and ensuring that those convicted of cybercrime face the full force of the law. As part of efforts to curb the menace, cybersecurity experts advise individuals to be cautious of suspicious emails, messages, and online activities. They also urge the public to avoid sharing personal information with unverified sources. The EFCC continues to call on Nigerians to report any suspicious activities in their community. Citizens can reach out to the EFCC through their official helpline or visit their website to report suspected cases of fraud. As the EFCC continues its fight against cybercrime, this latest arrest in Umudike serves as a reminder of the ongoing threat posed by internet fraud in Nigeria. The Commission urges the public to report suspicious activities and join hands in the fight against cybercrime. In the fight against cybercrime, it's clear that the efforts of the EFCC are making an impact, but the journey is far from over. With continued support from the government, law enforcement, and the public, there is hope that cybercrime in Nigeria can be drastically reduced. On September 2nd, 10 individuals who participated in the End Bad Governance protest were arraigned before Justice Emeka Nwite at the Federal High Court. This significant development comes as part of the ongoing response to the recent nationwide demonstrations demanding government accountability and reforms. The 10 defendants by the names Michael Adaramoye, Adeyemi Abayomi, Suleiman Yakubu, Apoluwa Simon, Angel Innocent, Buhari Lawal, Musiu Sadiq, Basha Bello, Nuradim Kamis, and Abdusalam Zabiru appeared in court this morning facing a range of charges, including unlawful assembly, public disturbance, and resisting arrests. The police alleged that the protesters engaged in activities that disrupted public order and violated legal norms. The court proceedings were closely watched by media and observers, reflecting the high profile of the case. Their legal teams are preparing to challenge the charges, arguing that their clients were exercising their fundamental right of free speech and assembly. This case is being closely monitored by civil rights organizations and legal experts who are concerned about the implications of democratic freedoms in Nigeria. The End Bad Governance protests, which have taken place across Nigeria in recent weeks, highlight widespread public dissatisfaction with the current administration. Demonstrators have voiced strong criticisms of government corruption, mismanagement, and inadequate public services. The movement has seen support from various sectors, including students, civil society groups, and ordinary citizens. These protests have become a focal point for discussions about government and accountability in Nigeria. The government's response to the demonstrations, particularly through legal actions such as the arraignment of these protesters, is being scrutinized by both domestic and international observers. The legal proceedings against the 10 protesters are seen as a test case for how the Nigerian judiciary will handle cases involving political dissent. Civil rights advocates argued that the charges could be an attempt to intimidate and suppress those advocating for change. They stressed the importance of upholding democratic principles and ensuring that protests are managed in a way that respects citizens' rights. Legal experts are also weighing in on the case, noting that the outcome could have far-reaching consequences for the right to protest in Nigeria. The balance between maintaining public order and protecting individual freedoms is a central issue. Observers are watching closely to see how the court addresses these complex legal and constitutional questions. As the case progresses, it will be important to watch how it impacts a public perception of both the government's stance on dissent and the broader political climate in Nigeria. The handling of this case may set a precedent for future demonstrations and legal actions relating to civil rights. Thank you for joining us this morning. My name is Chidera. Stay tuned for more news and analysis.